Recording in progress.
Welcome, everyone, to the August 18th, 2025 regular Board of Aldermen meeting. Would everybody please join with me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Alderman Plufka.
Here.
Alderwoman Tice.
Here.
Alderwoman Goode. Here. Alderwoman Sims.
Here.
Alderman Lockmiller.
Here.
Alderman Gould.
Here.
Alderwoman Harder.
Here.
Alderman Erger.
Here.
All members are present.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Do we have any changes or any amendments? Any objection to approving the same by acclamation? Seeing none, it will be so approved. Thank you. Bring us down to public hearing. We have only one public hearing tonight, and that is an ordinance amending Ordinance 5058 and approving an amended site development plan and amended conditional use permit for Tonus Margarita Bar and Restaurant located within the Hanley Station development at 2021 Strassner Drive. And with that, I will gavel open the public hearing.
Good evening. Tonus Margarita Bar and Mexican Restaurant will be filling the space that was Salyi Limon. They've been doing interior modifications since the CUP for Salyi Limon was not expired. However, that CUP addressed the exterior modifications, so they are here tonight for those exterior modifications. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval unanimously, and they are asking for a first and second reading since it is only the exterior modifications.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the applicant or for Whitney? Okay, well, then anybody in the public care to address or speak on this matter?
There is no one online at this time.
All right. Well, then with that, we will close the public hearing and we'll take up your matter at Bill 6570.
Hi, guys. Nice to meet you all. My name's Cheyenne Copeland, and I am one of the owners and representatives of your newest Margarita Bar and Mexican Restaurant in Brentwood. Per request of the city, I am here with my partner, Dagoberto Cruz, to discuss our request for the conditional use permit for our location at 1221 Strassner Drive. As you guys know, it was originally known as Houlihan's, and before that, it was also known as Salt et Limon. It has an interesting color scheme that doesn't really match with our idea of what a Mexican restaurant should be. Just first, I want to emphasize that we're not making any structural changes outside of the building. We plan to keep the exact same exterior, the same type of siding, the same materials. We just want to paint the building. So inspired by the beautiful architecture of Mexico, we plan to use creamy, pure white colors with a copper jalapeno orange accent to really make it pop. And this will kind of reflect to the warm traditional home.
Can I interrupt you just for a second? Can
Yeah.
we get one of those doors propped open? Just so we... Thank you. I just want to make sure everybody knows it's an open meeting. Thank you. Okay, sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. Additionally, we want to have signs on the commercial side just saying Tonus Mexican Restaurant on one side, another side saying Tonus Margarita Bar. We additionally had some planning with some gardening, but we're not going to do that as of right now just because it's September coming up. It's not really applicable with the weather conditions. But really, we're just here to paint the building, honestly. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And nice to meet you all.
Thank you. Okay, so I guess we will close the public hearing on this item. Thank you very much, and we will take your matter up with Bill 6570 later on during the meeting. Thank you. Next item is citizen comments. Anybody in the public care to address the board? Now is the time to do so. All we ask is that you come to the podium, state your name and your address, and you will be given up to 3 minutes.
No one has their hand raised online.
Okay, thank you. Gets us down to the mayor and alderman reports. First is the mayor. I have no report this meeting. Next up is Alderman Plufka.
No report.
Alderwoman Tice.
No report.
Alderwoman Goode. Oh, Mike, sorry.
Sorry. I just want to say thank you to police, fire, public works, and the team for coming out for National Night Out and providing barricades. And so a great time was had by all, so thank you for showing up.
Thank you. Where are we? Alderwoman Sims.
No report.
Alderman Lockmuller.
No report.
Alderman Gould.
I'm going to echo the thank you for all staffs, actually, support for the block party for National Night Out. It was a great success. Steve and I had a lot of fun and enjoyed meeting a lot of people. I also wanted to say that tomorrow night, our normally scheduled communications committee will not be held because we don't have enough to really talk about this month, so we're going to push it to the next month. So just look for the next month to join that.
Thank you. Alderman Erger.
The next Brentwood Forest board meeting will be next Tuesday, the 26th at 6 p.m. in the clubhouse. Thank you.
And Alderwoman Harder.
No report.
Thank you. Next item is the city administrator report. We have one, or we don't have any report, right? Wow, okay. Let's move us down to item 8, the consent agenda. Do we have any questions about any item on the consent agenda or any request to remove any of the items from the consent agenda? If not, the chair would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Hey, roll call, please.
Alderman Plefka?
Yes.
Alderwoman Tice?
Yes.
Alderwoman Goode?
Yes.
Alderwoman Sims?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder?
Yes.
Alderman Erger?
Yes.
Motion carries by a vote of 8 to 0.
Thank you. Next up is old business, and I apologize, I'm still struggling with this new thing here. Let's see. Okay, first up is resolution number 1553. Michelle.
Good evening. So a couple of months ago now, we started the conversation of implementing a light pole banner policy that would be applicable to any banners created for the light poles that you see around the city, specifically the light poles on Litzinger, Strassner, and Manchester Road that have the existing infrastructure to hold those kind of light pole banners that you see. Currently, we here at the city take the responsibility of creating and producing and funding banners to be held on those light poles. And after some kind of talks with other area communicators on kind of how they fill those light poles, we saw an opportunity to open up that project to the area schools and allow them to also participate in advertising, special accomplishments, any sort of news that they want to share on those light pole banners. And they would be responsible for funding the design and production of those banners. We would just be offering them the space. The city and our employees would handle the installation of the banners themselves. I, along with the city administrator, would be in charge of approval of design of those banners, and then we would also be, the ones who would manage the timeline. No banner would be able to be up for longer than 90 days at a time. So we're hoping that this policy will allow for us to fill those banner poles because it's an expensive undertaking. And so unfortunately, we're limited to how many banners we can print each year. So we're hoping that by opening up this opportunity to the schools in the area, we can fill those banner poles on a more regular basis.
Okay. Any questions? Yes, Alderman Gould.
Just a couple of comments. We spent a lot of time talking about this in the committee, the communications committee, and I think it's good to have a policy. Make sure that we are some cities have them, some cities don't, but this allows it to be officially in our guide and be able to have some control or say over what gets implemented. I did have one potential edit to the resolution, and it would just be a minor edit that in the who's involved section, most of it we talk about public and private, but who's involved, we have private / denominational schools. Denominational schools are it's covered under private, so we could just remove that word.
You said is it in the resolution or is it in the policy?
It's in the policy, I'm sorry, not in the
Okay.
resolution. My
Okay.
fault. I was looking at this at the same time
Okay.
as thinking. And then the only other question I had is in the policy itself, we have a section that says the banner will be blank feet by blank feet. Is that going to be,
That, I will address that as people come to me. The sizing for these banners is
Okay.
very specific, and so it's easier to just explain it on a case-by-case basis, because the banners for Manchester Road need to be a very specific dimension, and the way we've worked it, they need to be created with this Velcro flap at the bottom, whereas the banners on Litzinger and Strassner are a more standard size. I think it's easier to address that as I'm working with the individual schools or.
And placement.
Than to place it all in this document. It would be very confusing.
okay. Okay, I mean, unless there's concern about having blanks in our policy, I think that's fine.
While our city attorney's looking, I had a similar question, similar concern. I ran by Michelle, because that's do we just want to leave it blank and leave it up to staff then to kind of fill that in? But I think it is on a case-by-case
Yes.
basis.
Yeah, and I mean, in that case, you know, I don't know that we even need to have the banner size
So
listed
if
in
the
there.
city were to include the specific locations where those banner poles were, then it would make sense to add the size to it. So if you would like us to do that, then that would be the amendment to the policy. Otherwise, we can just edit that out entirely.
I think that's probably,
Edit it out?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be easier and
Just
let
strike that
staff-
whole line?
Yeah, or just state the banner shall be the size as directed by staff.
Okay.
I love that.
And the other question you have was on the private/denominational?
Yeah, who's involved there, in the third bullet down,
Right.
it just says private, just remove the word denominational, because private schools, you know,
Right, by
are covered,
definition.
it covers everything.
By definition, denominational schools, I think, have to be private. And so you're suggesting, are you making a motion then to remove the
I
word
would-
denominational?
I would make a motion to remove the word denominational and to revise the banner size line to, I'm sorry, Mr. City Attorney, what did you suggest?
The banner shall be such size as directed by staff.
Okay. I make that, those two edit, motion to those two.
We can do that by one motion, Mr. City Attorney? is
Yes.
it? Okay. Do we have a
Second.
Second? Okay. Any discussion on that?
Yeah, I just want to say, to echo the comments from our chairman of the committee, I think it's a good changes, and I think it adds a lot of specificity, and it also sends a message as to, you know, the civic-minded nature of the banners in the first place, and I think it's nice to articulate that, so.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other discussion on that motion to amend? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to amend is carried.
So then you
Alderman-
need a, wait, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry, Alderwoman Tice.
Oh, I have a question. Is the expectation that the schools would have enough banners, or make enough banners for all the poles? Or could they do just certain banners if they didn't want to cover all the poles?
They would not be making all the banners for the polls. They would be limited so that it would give the city an opportunity to promote different things going on in the community or awards. And then they're also limited to just 90-day period at a time. So they would not fill up all the
Okay,
space.
the expense would be great if
Yes.
they had. Yes. Great, thank you.
Alderman Goode.
Clarification question. Does private school assume nonprofit, or would it be private for-profit as well if someone moves back into town? I believe we've had a private for-profit in town before. Would they be eligible under the policy?
I think that if they're an educational institution,
Okay.
a for-profit school could be eligible.
Any other questions? If not, can we get a motion to approve Resolution 1553 as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Alderman Gould, seconded by Alderwoman Tice. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next up is Resolution 1558. And that is, bear with me again here. Okay, that is on the conflict policy. Who's handling that?
The conflict of interest ordinance.
Yes.
Is set to expire next month, September 15th. And so we received notification for the Missouri Ethics Commission that it is time for the Board of Aldermen to repass this ordinance so that it continue to be in place.
Are there any changes from our existing
There are
conflict
no
of interest
changes.
policy? Okay, just a readopting.
Right.
Okay, any questions about Resolution 1558? If not, we'd entertain a motion to approve.
Other than the fact that I feel old with the fact that I was there when we first initiated this. So, other than that, it's okay with me.
So that's a motion
I'll make the motion, yeah.
I'll second.
and a second by the
By the
elder
other, right.
statespeople.
That's
on the-
right.
on the
Yeah,
dais.
that's right.
Okay, great. Any discussion? Okay, so we've got a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next up is Bill number 6563. Can we get a second read by title only, please?
An amended ordinance authorizing an amendment to the site development plan and a new conditional use permit for Brew Crew LLC to operate a 7-brew coffee business with drive-through facility at the Brentwood Plaza Schnucks Shopping Center at 8828 Manchester Road in the GC General Commercial District.
Thank you. We've already had the presentation, but so I'm going to open up to the board. Any questions? If not, Chair would entertain a motion to perfect. Yes, Alderman Charter. Are you on?
Probably not. I'm still a little confused of the traffic flow. Can you get to Seven Brews from Manchester, or do you have to go all the way through the Schnucks parking lot?
You can get to the Seven Brew from Manchester by, if you're heading east on Manchester, you can enter
Hop in,
to the
yeah.
Schnucks parking lot or hit Collier Avenue and then go up through the Schnucks parking lot. If you're heading west, at the intersection, you can either turn on South Brentwood Boulevard to enter into the Schnucks parking lot at that light, or make the turn at Collier Avenue. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Alderman Tice.
So I have a question for CBB, a couple questions.
Sean, come on down.
Yeah, thank you. So, when was the traffic study done?
The counts were collected, well, we were approached over the summer, to look at it. It originally started as just more of a trip generation, queuing analysis of the driveway, and then there was follow-up questions regarding just the access for the site and looking at that. So we had gone out and collected some counts in July over the summer, just given the time frame of it. I mean, we didn't have the ability to collect those during school time, so they were collected in July.
Okay, because I had emailed Whitney last week, and you probably got word, like, I had some concerns about the significantly higher traffic that the intersection of Brentwood and Manchester gets during the school year versus the summer. Like, I was going north on Brentwood Boulevard, and, it's backed up all the way down to the railroad track near the entrance to Brentwood Park. So all those cars are going through, so it's just a massive amount of traffic. And then, so I guess my question is, how much more traffic do you think this would add? And then my second question is, once you've gone to get coffee and you want to go north to Clayton or you want to go west, and it's a ton of traffic on those major arteries, how are you directing people to go north or west?
Well, we're not directing them. They can go however they choose. I think people will get to know, it's not an area that has new traffic necessarily. We're not off the highway, I guess is what I'm saying. So it's people who will be familiar with the area that I think will just figure out the path of least resistance for them. So we're not trying to direct them one way or another on how to go. As far as the trip generation, in the study on page 10, we have the table that shows their estimated trips. Now, the thing with coffee shops is that the majority of their traffic is pass-by traffic, meaning not everyone, gets up from their house and is like, I'm just going to go get coffee and I'm going to go back home. Most of the times, all of our data is showing us is that it's on their way to or from another destination, so not necessarily just someone coming just there and leaving to go back. So with that said, you know, the amount of new trips that are expected to be out in the morning is only 26 trips, you know, in and out in the morning. Now, there's another 70-some pass-by trips, but the actual new trips is only estimated to be 26. So
So those are passing by the intersection, not necessarily passing through the parking lot. Am I correct in that? Like, there aren't 76 people going to Schnucks at
what I'm
7
trying to
a.m.
get at is that the intersection of 100 and Brentwood, like that main intersection that you're talking about, we're only talking about maybe adding 26 trips to that intersection, and maybe not even that much, because people who are wanting to go, you know, the other direction might turn left out of the site and not go through that intersection, or they might go through the Schnucks parking lot and go south on Brentwood, so they wouldn't go through that intersection. But even if all of our new trips went through that intersection, you know, it's 26 in and out that would go through that, which an intersection that probably has 2,000 to 3,000 cars in the peak hour, 26 is, I don't think you would notice that. I mean, volumes can vary on any given day, 5 to 10%, you know, which could be 200, 300, 400 variation on any given day. So 26 vehicles, I don't think you would notice that at that intersection.
Okay, so back to my question about going, like, if you're trying to go west after you've gotten your coffee, the way you could do it is to turn left onto Collier. Well, last Monday morning and many mornings, the traffic was backed up well beyond, like, there's no way you could have turned left out of Collier because the traffic was 3 lanes deep all the way through. So, I mean, how are you suggesting that even the 100 cars that might go through there, even 25 of them would go west if they split into 4 directions?
Yeah, if they don't want to sit and wait there, I mean, if traffic is such that they, you know, I guess when we did our counts, there were 37 people that turned left out of there in the morning. But if traffic is such that that is, you know, they see, oh, there's just 3 cars sitting there waiting to turn, and they see traffic backed up, then yes, I presume they would drive over to Brentwood Boulevard, make a left, and then go up to the signal and make a left in order to go west on Manchester. So at least they have that ability to utilize signals, you know, I mean, at least the site is served well in that, you know, they can utilize that signal if they would need a protected way to get out.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Alderman Plufka.
Thanks. To build on what Alderwoman Tice has already been talking about, I read your report a number of times and tried to understand. At one point, it seems like, first of all, let's talk about is the curb cut being extended to the west to accommodate this entrance from Manchester Road into this site?
My understanding, nothing is changing with the curb cuts. They're remaining exactly as they are today.
Okay. So the timing of order to completion to traveling through, we heard information from the applicant about how it's so many seconds and this is being done and that's being done, and that therefore there would not be enough of a line that even in the busiest times it would ever queue up onto Manchester Road. I just have to say, I mean, this is not a knock on you personally, but CBB has given us advice that's turned out not to be true on a number of fairly famous occasions. The parking field in the Brentwood Promenade is notoriously considered one of the worst in all of St. Louis County. It comes up on YouTube videos every month. And we were assured by your predecessor that it would be just fine parking the way that it was, and it's not just fine. The most recent example I can give you is the veterinary clinic at Pine and Brentwood. I have residents in my ward who are complaining bitterly about the fact that they are customers to that facility parking up and down Pine in front of their homes. And we're taking up at Public Safety next week the issue of having to permit that street because the parking was completely inadequate for that use. In addition, anybody that drives by Chick-fil-A on Eager Road on any given Saturday will tell you that there is some impact on the traffic on Eager Road that is directly affected by the folks trying to get to Chick-fil-A. And yet we were assured by CBB that that would not be the case, that there was plenty of move, and they do an efficient job of moving people through, as I'm sure 7 Brew will do as well. But I just have to tell you, your track record in front of this board is not that great. And I just do not see, to make the Alderwoman's point, the other thing that's not being talked about here are the neighborhoods that are served by Collier that are south of Brentwood Boulevard, that in the morning want to try to go left on Manchester Road. This is going to make things worse for them, a lot worse. I don't understand why it wasn't even discussed, or at least it seems like it wasn't even discussed, about perhaps putting the entrance to this off of Collier and bringing it farther south. I imagine the tenants would have complained because they would have lost some valuable parking right in front of their stores, and I understand that. But having it this close to Manchester Road gives me pause, and it really does make me feel like this is going to be another example of how Brentwood has become very congested on its major roads in the mornings and in the evenings. And I just don't, I don't know. I mean, I read the entire report and I saw the things that you weren't doing. You didn't take into account an evaluation of impact of the entire shopping center because no new lot was created. I understand that, but it would be interesting to know the tangential impact of a situation like Alderwoman Tice just mentioned. If somebody does, or many people do, get frustrated with the situation on Collier and decide to travel through the entire parking lot to get to that eastern signal light, to then turn left again 75 feet later onto Manchester Road, that is going to cause, and that's going to be an implication for Schnucks and for the rest of the people that are trying to grocery shop. I'm just frustrated with this, and I just don't know what to say other than to sort of vent my frustration on the fact that I don't think we can trust the traffic analysis. Thank you.
Sure. Alderman Gould.
I echo the same concerns. I'm also looking at the diagram and the idealistic way that you're trying to have in traffic go all the way through and then wind their way through the parking stalls for people who are trying to go to Schnucks, crossing over to at least 2 crosswalks with people trying to get into Schnucks. And if you've got folks that are frustrated with trying to navigate around, I'm concerned there might be some safety concerns about pedestrians that are trying to just go and shop at Schnucks and then not get hit by somebody who's, trying to queue up to get their coffee real fast. I also have concerns that, we are going to have, there are, 1, 2, at least 3 different ways you could enter in to try to get into a queue. And nobody's going to go the same way. And so now you're going to have people, fighting for a spot or suggesting, hey, I should be in here. I've visited some of your the other locations. And even though, like on Chippewa, even though there's arrows that you're supposed to go right, I've sat there and watched a number of cars just ignore that completely and go left onto Chippewa. Nothing, they're not supposed to, but they do. And I even spoke with a resident that lives over there at the time, and I asked if traffic ever backs up onto Chippewa, and she said yes. Every Saturday morning, every Sunday after church, and anytime there's an event, there's traffic backed all the way down to Lansdowne and further, with people trying to get in. So I really do want to support, I really would love to support this. I'd love to support a new business along Manchester. I also echo the concerns of Alderman Plufka and Alderwoman Tice that I don't want my desire to have a new thing in Brentwood out outweigh the fact that we don't want to create more traffic problems and be known for more traffic problems. We already have kind of an issue with that. So I don't know how I'm going to support this with the current traffic study and the current traffic patterns that we have. I would have maybe supported it if we were to eliminate that right in, right out completely, and there was some way to funnel traffic directly to the coffee shop without intermingling with or commingling with traffic that or people that are trying to park and shop at the other retail. I think that's a problem.
Fire away, Sean.
I appreciate the comments. I will say, I feel like traffic is not an exact science. It's not like designing a bridge. We can crunch all the numbers and what you get's what you get. So traffic, we have guidelines, we have parameters, we have, average trip rates that things generate, average parking rates, things that things generate. And we have to base all of our analyses on that historical data that we have, available to us. So are there situations where a development is more successful than anticipated? Yes, there are scenarios like that. But I do think if you look at our batting average, I think we've represented the city for 15, 20 years maybe. I mean, I know I was working with Ellen back a long time ago here. I think our batting average is pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to say we bat 100% because traffic is, it's not that type of engineering where you can get it exactly right every time. There will be situations where things are more successful than you anticipated. So with that said, I think some of the, and we're here to represent, we're on your side. We're here to be your advocate to help you guys understand this better. And so with coffee shops, I think one of the main things we wanted to look at was the queuing. So, we just have to go off of the data that we had and providing, an analysis. Now, if their service times are longer than what they told us, then the queues will be longer than what we have shown in here. They have, the operator has an interest in this working correctly and working well. People have to wait too long to get their coffees. They're going to go someplace else. So, they have an interest in keeping things moving also. So based on those estimates that they've given us, we're not showing that those queues would even come close to the 23 spaces that they have available. So I don't think it would be difficult for people to get in there. Now, we talked last meeting about the potential for special events or half-price coffee days or things like that. And, if that created an issue, then I think it was talked with them about, like, maybe that's not offered here, or maybe, you have to have cones up to direct people past that right in, right out, and to go on past us. There may be some type of traffic management that would be needed if they had those type of events and they were more successful than they were bargaining for. But they also provided data for, stores that they had in Springfield, which was a fairly new market. I think they only had a couple there. One thing with the St. Louis market is I think they're coming in with a lot of stores. So as there's more, it's not such a, the first Chick-fil-A we have or the second Chick-fil-A, being here and it just being crazy busy. So I think that helps to lessen it. But with the data they provided, they gave us a site that generated more trips than what their average store generates. I think it was 126 instead of 104, so it generated more trips. And the longest queue they ever had at that during that time frame was 14 vehicles. They have room for 23 here.
I have some questions, and my questions are, my concern really has to do with internal circulation of the parking lot. And when I look at the proposed changes, I see there being some changes that really intentionally constrict the movement of traffic on the parking lot itself, and I'm trying to figure out why that is. For instance, the proposal is to eliminate a number of spots with installation of islands. I don't know why that's what the purpose is of that. Also, if you look at how you would enter off of Manchester going east, not on Collier, but the one that's just east of that, the other entrance, right in, right out, thank you. If you go down that driveway, it's constricted on both sides now. There's a median, if you will, or something. Right now, any car that's parked on either of those two sides can just drive straight out. They don't have to back out. There's no curb stops or anything like that. But what you're putting there, or what is being proposed there, are these medians that would prohibit people from being able to do that. And that concerns me, because again, internal circulation, I'm concerned, is going to be a problem, and those constrictions are going to add to that concern. And secondly, when you looked at that, did you ever see a fire truck parked there on that drive? That happens frequently. Rock Hill will come here and park its fire truck right on that drive, and I'm concerned what that's going to do if we're forcing all this traffic down that driveway off the right in, right out, and you've got Rock Hill's fire truck or Brentwood's fire truck. What is that going to do for the internal circulation? So why are we constricting it so much?
I think the reason, and forgive me, I wasn't involved in the beginning of this, but I think the reason for having this was to provide more definition, because when you have just, if this, and one could argue that maybe it should have been like this from the beginning, just when you have more of a driveway coming in, like this is the entrance coming in, most of the time you like that to be protected, to have islands, you just have a way in and then you kind of disperse in the parking lot versus having all these conflict points where someone driving down and people can just enter that drive aisle from anywhere. Now, if it's interior to the parking lot, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have something like that, but this is actually the drive aisle coming in off the right and right out. So I think that was the mindset behind it, was to provide a better definition of where the cars should be going versus just going through the middle of the parking lot and coming into maybe this drive aisle from all directions. But the fire trucks, I mean, obviously, I assume if this is here now, they'll have to park somewhere else interior to the parking lot versus where they are now. And I would add too, with most of our centers that have grocery stores now, there's very few that are just grocery stores anymore. I mean, they generally, when you pull into a shopping center, there's a grocery store, there's like a long strip aisle that has restaurants or Crumble or, baked or, just all these different things that are along the frontage. There's outlots, that have drive-through restaurants. And so it's not uncommon at all to have all that traffic intermingled and pedestrian activity. I mean, Brentwood Promenade, I mean, there's several examples of where that happens. So I don't think it's unusual. I mean, I think, just something with clearly marking crosswalks, and hopefully people are courteous, as, we hope they will be. I mean, this isn't meant to be a road, it's a parking lot, so people are having to stop at those crosswalks and yield to pedestrians.
Okay. Anybody else? If not, we need a motion to perfect Bill number 6563 into ordinance form.
Second.
Got a motion by Alderman Lockmuller, seconded by Alderwoman Sims. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Plufka?
No.
Alderwoman Tice?
No.
Alderwoman Goad?
Yes.
Alderwoman Sims?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
No.
Alderwoman Harder?
Yes.
Alderman Erger?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's a tie vote, 4-4.
Okay. I have serious concerns that the evidence that has been presented doesn't show, or does show that there will be a serious traffic problem. And with that, I am going to, I don't think there's rationale to move forward with the approval of the CUP. And so with that, I'm going to vote no.
Okay, motion fails.
Okay, next up is, we're down to new business and Resolution 1560, which is a resolution adopting the Strategic Communications Plan.
Hello again. Last year, in 2024, we initiated the process of requesting requests for proposals for a comprehensive communications audit and plan creation. After going through the RFP process, receiving the proposals from various companies, we entered into a contract with a company called Raftellus. And we've been working with them over the course of the last year to develop this communications audit and plan. They have successfully delivered a finalized version of both the audit, which was finished early in the year, and then the communications plan. And so we are looking forward to kind of starting to utilize that as sort of the guiding principle for the city and our communication efforts moving forward.
Any questions? If not, Chair would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 1560.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That brings us down to Bill number 6568. Can we get a first read by title only, please?
Bill number 6568, an ordinance approving permanent easement agreements between the City of Brentwood, Missouri and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for conveyance of various easements for the Brentwood-bound improvement project.
All right. Dan, I think you are up.
This item was discussed at the Public Works Committee last week. So there's 5 parcels near the Manchester Road Tunnel. These are parcels that were used for both the MoDOT project and the Brentwood bound project. So now it's time to clean up the land as far as the permanent easement. So these are between us and the Missouri Highway Commission. So we're just trying to get these approved so that we can get these recorded. And these are for storm sewer and sidewalks.
All right. Any questions? And we are wanting a second read on that tonight?
Yes.
Okay, so with that, can we get a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Any discussion on the motion for a second read? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Can we get a second read by title only, please?
Bill number 6568, an ordinance approving permanent easement agreements between the City of Brentwood, Missouri and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for conveyance of various easements for the Brentwood-bound improvements project.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to perfect Bill number 6568 into ordinance form.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Plufka?
Yes.
Alderwoman Tice?
Yes.
Alderwoman Goode?
Yes.
Alderwoman Sims?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder?
Yes.
Alderman Erger?
Yes.
By a vote of 8-0, Bill 6568 will become an ordinance.
All right. It brings us down to Bill number 6569. Can we get a first read by title only, please?
Bill number 6569, an ordinance amending Article 3 of Chapter 110 of the Municipal Code to amend the time for regular meetings of the Board of Aldermen.
Thank you. I am bringing this to the board to change the start time for our regular Board of Aldermen meetings from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And the reason for that, as we all know, during the summer, we have one meeting a month, and we start those meetings at 6 instead of 7 because since we only have one meeting, we're going to have heavier agendas. But I've also noticed that during the regular part of the year, when we have our meetings starting at 7, our meetings go long. The longer they are, we're asking more of our staff. Staff, sometimes their days don't end till 5 o'clock, and they have to sit around and wait a couple of hours for the start of the Board of Aldermen meeting. So I think it would be a good idea for all involved if we start these meetings at 6 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock, because it's in the ordinance, we need to change the ordinance. Alderman Plufka.
I would make a motion to perfect Bill.
Well, we're not there
Yeah,
yet,
have to-
but
yeah.
Not there yet? It's been read, hasn't it? Oh, okay.
yeah.
Then I would
So-
make a motion that we have a second reading. Yeah.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that motion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, can we get a second read by title only, please?
Bill number 6569, an ordinance amending Article 3 of Chapter 110 of the Municipal Code to amend the time for regular meetings of the Board of Aldermen.
Alderman Plufka.
Your Honor, I make a motion that we perfect Bill 6569 into ordinance form.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second to perfect. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Plufka?
Yes.
Alderwoman Tice?
Yes.
Alderwoman Goode?
Yes.
Alderwoman Sims?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder?
Yes.
Alderman Erger?
Yes.
By a vote of 8-0, Bill 6569 will become an ordinance.
And on behalf of all the staff, I say thank you. That brings us to the final bill, and that is Bill number 6570. Can we get a first read by title only, please?
Bill number 6570, an ordinance amending Ordinance 5058 and approving an amended site development plan and amended conditional use permit for Tonos Margarita Bar and Restaurant located within the Hanley Station development at 1221 Strasner Drive.
Great, thank you. Now, we all heard the presentation, but if you have any questions from the board, if board have any questions, please fire away. If not, the applicant has asked for a second read of this tonight, so if so moved.
I just have one question for the applicant. You had mentioned on the signage, you mentioned on one side you're going to have Tona's Mexican Restaurant, and the other side Margarita Bar. Are they two separate?
It's same thing, like we're having a margarita bar and a Mexican restaurant. Same sign, but just different word, just two different words, that's all.
I mean, I guess from one direction, you're only going to see Margarita Bar, and the other direction, you're going to see...
Yes, exactly, yeah. On that corner where it used to say Salt Limon on one side, whenever you're driving that one way, you'll see Margarita Bar, the other way, you'll see Mexican
Okay,
restaurant.
all right. I mean,
Yeah.
I just didn't know if there were two separate things inside, so, I mean, I don't have any issue with the changes you're looking to make, so make a motion. This is just a, does it need a second read?
We do.
Motion for
A
second.
motion for a second read.
I'll second that motion. Can I ask a question just real quick?
Sure.
Did I hear you say that you, I think the way it looks is really nice. And I like the orange especially. Did you call it jalapeno orange?
It's like a jalapeno copper orange.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So we're replacing that bright lime green with something far more appetizing.
Okay, all right. I just never heard jalapenos came in orange.
I have like
didn't
the
know.
paint color, that's what it
There we
says.
go. All right. Very good.
Okay, do we have any other discussion on, right now, what's in front of you is a motion for a second read. Any other discussion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, can we get a second read of Bill number 6570 by title only, please?
Bill number 6570, an ordinance amending Ordinance 5058 and approving an amended site development plan and amended conditional use permit for Tonos Margarita Bar and Restaurant located within the Hanley Station development at 1221 Strasner Drive.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to perfect Bill number 6570 in the ordinance form.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Plevka?
Yes.
Alderwoman Tice?
Yes.
Alderwoman Goad?
Yes.
Alderwoman Sims?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder?
Yes.
Alderman Erker?
Yes.
By a vote of 8 to 0, Bill 6570 will become an ordinance.
Welcome. And when's the grand opening?
It's probably middle of September.
Middle of September. All right. Well, great.
You know, we also have another thing happening middle of September that maybe they could be a part of.
Oh, the Brentwood Days. Yeah. Well, I'm sure you can talk to Eric in the back there about Brentwood Days. Well, welcome to the city of Brentwood, and good luck. The final item we have are citizen comments. Anybody in the public care to address the board? You know the rules, Lois.
I care, yes. I'm Lois Truman, 8710 Rosalie Avenue. One of these days, I might forget that, so you'll have to help me. I just want to commend this board and all the administrators and everybody that helps for the smooth operation that this city runs on, and all of us that have been here tonight have seen a perfect example of just a well-oiled machine. And we just sometimes take that for granted, and I want to say thank you. That's not the norm in most places. And I also want to just make the comment that I appreciate the consideration given to the citizens. We're not just here trying to money grab, but you're considering where we have to drive and how we have to drive, because I live on the street that just pulls out just where Starbucks is backed up on Brentwood Boulevard every morning. And this was not considered, obviously, as a problem there too. So I really appreciate that, and I thank you very much.
Well, thank you for the comments, Lois. We appreciate that. Anybody else? I see Sally coming on down.
I'm Sally Westenberger. I live at 2626 Bremerton Road. I want to say how much we appreciate our trash people picking up in this hot weather, and I applaud them very much. And we try to keep Gatorade out on Tuesday morning for the one that picks up on Bremerton Road. We watch and wait. But it's a pleasure we're very thankful for the trash pickups that we have, and it's free to charge. That's thank you. But I wanted to thank them.
I agree with you. They are truly the unsung heroes. This heat, both our Public Works Department and our Parks Department to be out this summer laboring under that. We are very fortunate to have the folks that we do, so thank you. Anybody else? Okay, if not, I have a request that we go into closed session pursuant to RSMO 610.021, subsections 1, 2, and 12. Can we get a motion to that effect, please?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Plufka?
Yes.
Alderwoman Tice? Yes. Alderwoman Goode?
Yes.
Alderwoman Sims?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder?
Yes.
Alderman Erger?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, and we will adjourn therefrom.